I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the Whiteoak Fireroad. I'm at a hairpin turn on Skyline Drive. This is about mile marker 45. That's Skyline Drive heading to the north. And right at the hairpin turn, there's this little pull-off. There's my little red car. So it's a little bit of a gravel pull-off here. There's enough space here for 3 or 4 cars, I guess. And Fire Road looks kind of nasty, but once we get into the deep woods, hopefully it'll clear up a little bit. I'm going to hike this down to the first set of waterfalls in Whiteoak Canyon, and hopefully it'll be a nice hike. It's real nice and cool up here this morning, maybe 70 degrees and low humidity. So it's been kind of hot and nasty here the last few days, but today's real nice. The elevation here is 3,400 feet. Two-tenths of a mile into my hike, I'm down to 3340 elevation, and that's where I came from. And when you come around this turn, you'll see this concrete signpost, and if you go to the right, this is the beginning of a horse trail. It's about 7 miles long that takes you to Big Meadows. So if you've got horses, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to go around the turn to the left here and continue on down the Fire Road. Four-tenths of a mile into my hike, I'm down to 3290. I just came out of the woods. I wandered off in that direction. Here's where I came from, down the road, and you get to a bend in the road here. I'll show you when I do the map talk. There's a bend in the road here to the right, and right before the bend, one of the old maps from 1929 was telling me that there was a homestead up there in that location. And just into these weeds a little ways right over there is a little bit of evidence. There's a bit of a rock pile there and some rocks lined up, like maybe lining a side of a driveway or something. There's a nice little stream that's coming down over there down the mountain, and over up this way up the hill just a little ways. I mean, that would be a nice place to put a house, and you'd have access to water from the stream. So this might be another one of these areas to come back in the wintertime, take a little closer look. I wandered around there, but I didn't really see anything other than that little rock pile that might be part of the driveway. So anyway, I'm gonna keep descending on this road. There's one more dwelling area like that down here. When I get there, I'll take a little look also. .1 miles into my hike, I'm down to 3,010 feet, and I'm standing on the road. I'm getting ready to, there's a culvert here to handle the flow coming down the side of the mountain here. There it is, heading on down the side of the mountain. And just coincidentally, I'm supposed to be within about 300 feet of a second homestead area, so I'm going to cross I'm going to cross this and go around this bend and just take a little look down this way and see if I see anything. I kind of doubt it. Everything's really overgrown, but I'll stop and take a little look. Well, I stepped off the road here just a little short distance. All the water's right over there. Maybe you can hear it still. There's 2 or 3 or 4 culverts that carry the water under the road right here. So I don't know that this almost looks like some sort of a driveway going up here. The road's right up there. The road's right up there. I don't really see anything though. This would be another one of these wintertime things. I mean, if I was going to put a house, I'd probably put it up there on that hill right there, because that's close enough. That's within a couple of 100 feet of the water, but yet it's up on high enough land that it's, you wouldn't get flooded out. Oh, anyway, I'm going to go back up on the road and continue to descend down into Whiteoak Canyon. Well, I'm no geologist, but to me that's a pretty cool looking rock sticking up like that. Maybe somebody can explain that away. I guess everything else wore itself away, and that's just really hard rock left standing there. We got to. Oh, there's some more of it over this way too, on the other side. I'm at a bend in the road, just heading on down towards Whiteoak Canyon. .5 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2790, and let's see, there's where I came from. The road's kind of steep there, but then it comes down here and it flattens out, and I'm not going to go back in there, but that area right there is super flat, and over in there I'm looking not a whole lot of vegetation, plenty of trees, be a nice little hammock camping spot. But before you do that, make sure you check the park website. I can't remember if camping's allowed here in this area or not. This isn't really the popular Whiteoak Canyon area here, but just make sure you check and make sure it's legit. I'll mark it on my GPS. Okay, I lied to you. I stepped back in here anyway. I couldn't stand it. Had to come back in here and just take a look. This little area I'm suggesting you might be able to camp in, pretty flat. I mean, over there it almost looks like a road came up here, and who knows, maybe it did. Now looking that way, that's looking over the precipice down into Whiteoak Canyon. So pretty nice little area back in here. And I'm not the first person that's thought this was good for camping, because look at that. Isn't that sad? Look at that. Somebody popped a top off a can and just threw it on the ground. Well, look what I found back here in this little camping area. Little illegal open fire there. Oh boy. And further back in there, it's still pretty flat. People definitely know that this is a nice little camp zone back in here. That's the first one of those I've seen. That says mile 3 horse trail. We've got to start paying a little bit more attention. Down into Whiteoak Canyon, folks. Here we go. .8 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2670 elevation. And that answers the question about camping. That says no camping beyond this point. So back here where I came from, I suppose that means camping is okay back here. Backcountry camping. But as you come down here, we're getting closer to the falls now. I can hear the water. I can't see it yet. So once you get to this point, no more camping. Two miles into my hike, I'm down to 2630 elevation, and this is the stream that cuts down through Whiteoak Canyon. I've got to hike uphill just a little ways to get to a footbridge to cross over, and the waterfalls are down that way. There's where I came from. And you'll notice this says horse trail. And when you're coming down, on this side it says footbridge, go to the left. So we're gonna hike up this way a little bit, bushwhack a little ways up this way to get to the footbridge. I'm on the footbridge. .2 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2590, and this is the first set of falls for Whiteoak Canyon. Up there at the top of the falls is where you cross over on a footbridge. There's a hitching post for your horses. You can tie your horses up here. Okay, well, I'm back across the footbridge. There's the water down there. I'm leaving the stream and heading back up to my car. It's about an 800-foot climb from here back up to my car. So here we go. 3.3 miles into my hike. I'm just climbing through 3,000 feet now. I'm over here off the trail for a minute, sitting on a big rock, catching my breath. Oh, things have started getting a little busier on this trail. I've passed a bunch of people heading down towards the falls, waterfalls. But me, I'm heading up, I'm done. I'm heading up this way, back to my car. So I'm at 3,000 feet. I got to get up to about 3,400. So I got 400 more feet to climb. This is a map of today's hike. It's two quadrangle maps taped together. The left side is Big Meadows, 1994. And the right side is Old Rag Mountain, 1994. This red line here is Skyline Drive. And this is Hawksbill Gap. And Hawksbill Gap is easy to find on one of these maps because just north of there is this hairpin turn in the road like that, heading up to the north. This is about mile marker 45. And when you go around this turn on the right, if you're coming up from the south, as soon as you get around the turn on the right-hand side, there's a little teeny gravel pull-off area right here at the fire road. So you pull off there, and it's pretty small. There's only room for about maybe 4 cars. But you park right there, and then you get on the fire road, and this fire road takes you on down the side of the mountain down to into Whiteoak Canyon, which is right here. On the way down, I went to I looked on a 1929 map. I'll show you that in a minute. But the 1929 map, on the way down, I wandered around this area here looking for an old homestead. Didn't find one, but this would be a good place to put one because right about in through here is a little stream that runs down through there. And also down in this area, I also looked for another homestead that was shown on the 1929 map. And there just so happens to be another stream that runs right down through here. So if you had a homestead here, you'd have water, and if you had one up here, you'd also have water. And then continuing on down the side of the mountain, when I got down to here, I ventured over here in this area and showed the This looks like a real nice camping area over here. So you can take a look at those pictures. And then you continue on down into Whiteoak Canyon. Now when you get down here by the water, you have to take a left turn and bushwhack up this way to the left just a little ways and go across a footbridge, and then you continue on down like this about another maybe 1/10 of a mile to about here, and then there's an overlook here, and you can look back this way and see the waterfalls right here. There's actually more than one falls, but this is the biggest one. But you'll see it says falls there, and there's a trail that comes down this way. It says falls here, and it says falls here, and on down the canyon. So this area is extremely popular because up here is Skyline Resort. And you can start up here and you can hike all the way down like this and look at all these falls all the way down to the bottom. And there's also a parking lot down here at the park boundary where you can park, and you can hike up like this if you want to. So this is the road less traveled, and that's why I hiked it today. This is another way to get down into the canyon and look at the falls, and then just turn back around and come back up like this. Okay. And this fire road's in the first couple of 100 yards is pretty overgrown, but once you get past that, the rest of it's just basically gravel. So it's in pretty good condition. And it's called the Whiteoak Canyon Fireroad. Ended up being 4.3 miles and 936 feet of ascent. So, and it's downhill, heading into the canyon. It's downhill all the way down to the water, and then it's uphill all the way back. And that was the hike for today. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you the 1929 map. This is Stony Man 1929. And these older maps, equals a lot more distance. This one's a 62,500 scale. And normally the ones I show you are 24,000. So here's the Hawksbill Gap area. Same as on the old map. There's the hairpin turn. And here's the fire road going down like this. Down to the stream, and if you look right there, I circled it. There's a black dot there, and also a black dot there. So that's where I got the approximate locations of the old homesteads.